How to be a confident speaker. Master the art of public speaking and own any stage. Introduction. Why speaking with confidence changes everything. Public speaking is one of the most powerful tools you can master in your personal and professional life. It's not just about delivering a message. It's about inspiring action, influencing others, and creating meaningful connections. From the boardroom to the wedding toast, from online videos to everyday meetings, your ability to speak with clarity and confidence can open doors, build trust, and elevate your life in ways few other skills can. And yet, for many people, speaking in front of others is one of their greatest fears. The trembling hands, the dry mouth, the racing thoughts. These are symptoms we all know too well. But what if you could transform that fear into fuel? What if you could step up to any stage, virtual or physical, and speak with power and poise? This book is designed to help you do exactly that. It's not about turning you into someone you're not. It's about unlocking the confident communicator that already lives within you. Confidence in public speaking isn't reserved for the extroverted or the fearless. It's a skill anyone can learn, develop, and master. Whether you're an entrepreneur pitching your vision, a student giving a presentation, or someone simply wanting to speak up more in everyday life, this guide will walk you through every step of the journey. We'll cover the full spectrum of becoming a confident speaker. How to overcome fear, develop a strong mindset, organize compelling content, use body language effectively, engage audiences, and handle even the toughest situations with grace. Along the way, you'll gain practical strategies, mindset shifts, and proven techniques that have helped thousands of people find their voice. And now, they'll help you find yours. Speaking confidently isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity, preparation, and presence. When you speak from a place of belief in yourself and your message, you don't just deliver words, you deliver impact. In a world where communication is currency, your voice is your most valuable asset. Let's unlock its full power. Your transformation begins here. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Fear Factor. Understanding and Overcoming Stage Fright. The fear of public speaking is one of the most common fears in the world. It affects people of all ages, backgrounds, and levels of experience. Even the most seasoned speakers often feel a surge of nervous energy before stepping onto a stage. The truth is, this fear is completely normal. It's a natural reaction that stems from our primal need for social acceptance and the fear of judgment or rejection. When you stand in front of an audience, your brain interprets it as a threat. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and your voice might tremble. But here's the good news. This fear can be not only managed, but transformed into fuel for powerful, confident communication. The first step in overcoming stage fright is understanding that it's not a weakness. It's simply a signal from your body that you're stepping into something important. Reframing this sensation as excitement rather than fear can make a huge difference. Many elite performers, athletes, and speakers use this trick. They don't tell themselves they're nervous. They say they're excited. This small shift in language reprograms the brain to interpret the physical symptoms positively, turning anxiety into anticipation. Next, preparation is your most powerful ally. The more prepared you are, the more confident you will feel. Know your material so well that it becomes second nature. Practice your speech aloud multiple times, in front of a mirror or with a friend. Record yourself and watch the playback to see where you can improve. When you know your content inside and out, your brain can focus less on remembering lines and more on delivering them with passion and confidence. Preparation also reduces the fear of the unknown, one of the biggest triggers of stage fright. Another important element in conquering fear is presence. Fear thrives in the future, worrying about what might go wrong or how people might react. Confidence lives in the present. Before you speak, take a moment to ground yourself. Breathe deeply, plant your feet firmly on the floor, and remind yourself why you're there. Visualize success. Picture the audience reacting positively, applauding, nodding, and connecting with your message. These mental images can create a powerful sense of calm and control. You must also accept that perfection is not the goal. Many people fear public speaking because they think they need to be flawless. The truth is, audiences don't want perfection. They want authenticity. They connect with real people who speak from the heart. It's okay to stumble, to pause, or to collect your thoughts. In fact, those moments often make you more relatable and human. What matters most is that you communicate with clarity, sincerity, and purpose. Exposure is another key to building confidence. The more you speak, the easier it gets. Start small. Speak up in meetings, participate in group discussions, or join a local speaking club like Toastmasters. Each experience chips away at your fear and builds your confidence. Over time, what once felt terrifying becomes natural. Lastly, don't forget to celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Every time you speak in front of others, you're making progress. Every time you finish a talk, regardless of how it went, you've grown. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you earn through action. And the more action you take, the more confident you become. Overcoming the fear of public speaking is not about eliminating nerves altogether. It's about learning to walk with them, to channel that energy, and to speak anyway. You have something valuable to say, and the world needs your voice. With understanding, preparation, and practice, you can transform fear into fuel and become the confident speaker you were meant to be. Chapter 2. The Confident Mindset. Speak like you belong. Confidence isn't a magic trait reserved for a lucky few. It's a skill, a mindset, and a muscle that anyone can build with intention and repetition. When it comes to public speaking, confidence begins long before you step onto the stage or open your mouth. It starts in your mind, with how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, and how you choose to show up in the world. Many people hold back their voices not because they lack ability, but because they've convinced themselves they don't belong, that they're not good enough, not smart enough, not articulate enough. These are lies. And the first step to becoming a confident speaker is to silence them. Your mind is always listening to the thoughts you feed it. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good at speaking," or "I always mess up in front of people," then guess what? Your brain will believe you and act accordingly. But when you start affirming, "I have something valuable to say," or "I am becoming a stronger speaker every day," your brain begins to build new pathways of belief. Speaking like you belong starts with believing that you do. It doesn't mean being arrogant or pretending to be perfect. It means recognizing your worth, owning your story, and realizing that your voice has power, because it does. Confidence comes from competence and experience. The more you practice speaking, the more comfortable and capable you become. But there's also a shortcut to confidence, acting like you're already confident. This isn't about being fake. It's about borrowing the behaviors of confident speakers until they become your own. Walk tall. Breathe deeply. Make eye contact. Speak slowly and clearly. When you behave as if you are confident, your mind and body follow. And soon it won't be an act, it will be real. Another key to building confidence is detaching your worth from your performance. You are not your mistakes. You are not your last awkward pause or forgotten line. Every speaker messes up. What separates the confident ones is how they handle it. They smile, recover, and keep going. They don't spiral into self-doubt. They understand that speaking isn't about being perfect. It's about being real, relatable, and resilient. Confidence grows when you give yourself permission to be human. Visualizing success is a powerful tool in building the confident mindset. Before your next speech or presentation, close your eyes and picture yourself standing strong, speaking clearly, and connecting with your audience. Hear the applause, feel the pride, and experience the moment in vivid detail. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. The more you visualize confidence, the more natural it becomes. Lastly, surround yourself with voices that lift you. Read books, watch speakers you admire, and join communities where you can practice and receive feedback. Confidence is contagious. When you see others growing, it reminds you that you can too. Keep showing up. Keep speaking. Keep pushing through the discomfort. With every step, you're rewriting your story and becoming the speaker you were meant to be. Confidence is a choice. Choose to believe in yourself. Choose to speak up. Choose to grow. Because when you do, something incredible happens. The world starts to listen. Chapter 3. Crafting a Powerful Message. Great public speaking is not about how loud you speak or how animated you are on stage. It's about the message you deliver. At its core, communication is the transfer of meaning. The most confident speakers know exactly what they want to say and how to say it in a way that connects with their audience on a deep level. Crafting a powerful message requires clarity, intention, and structure. Without a clear message, even the most charismatic delivery will fall flat. But when your message is focused and purposeful, you can move people emotionally, intellectually, and even physically into action. The first step in crafting your message is identifying your core idea. What is the one thing you want your audience to walk away with? Strip away the fluff. Your message should be so clear that if someone were to summarize your talk in one sentence, they'd nail it. This level of clarity requires ruthless editing and intentionality. Think of your core message as the headline of a newspaper article. If it doesn't grab attention and deliver value, people won't read further. Once you have your core message, it's time to build around it. A strong message has a beginning, middle, and end. The beginning should hook the audience. In the first 30 seconds, your goal is to earn their attention. This could be through a shocking statistic, a compelling question, or a relatable story. Then comes the body, where you unpack your main points. These should support your core message and flow in a logical sequence. Use real-world examples, data, and stories to add depth and credibility. Finally, your conclusion should reinforce your core idea and leave a lasting impression. It's your chance to call your audience to action, inspire them, or challenge their thinking. Clarity is king, but simplicity is queen. Avoid jargon, complex language, or overly technical explanations unless absolutely necessary. Speak like a human, not like a textbook. Imagine you're explaining your message to a friend over coffee. The best speakers break down big ideas into simple, digestible parts. If your audience can't follow your message, they won't connect with it. And if they don't connect with it, they won't remember it. Emotion is another key ingredient in a powerful message. People make decisions based on emotion and justify them with logic. Your message should not only inform, but move people. Whether you're aiming to inspire, motivate, or persuade, tap into the emotional core of your topic. Share personal stories, show vulnerability, or paint a vivid picture of what's possible. Emotion adds power to your words and makes your message unforgettable. Crafting a powerful message also means anticipating objections or questions your audience might have. Address doubts before they're raised. This shows that you understand your audience and builds trust. When people feel heard, even preemptively, they're more open to your ideas. Finally, test your message. Say it out loud. Share it with others. Notice what resonates and what falls flat. A message is not static. It's a living, evolving idea. The more you share it, the sharper it becomes. Feedback is your friend, and each time you refine your message, you're becoming a better speaker. In the end, a powerful message isn't about being perfect. It's about being clear, authentic, and impactful. Speak from the heart. Structure your thoughts with purpose, and never underestimate the power of a well-crafted message to change someone's perspective or their life. Chapter 4. Body Language and Vocal Mastery. When it comes to public speaking, how you present yourself physically is just as important, if not more so, than what you actually say. Your body language and voice are powerful tools that communicate far more than words alone. In fact, studies have shown that nonverbal communication can account for up to 93% of how a message is received. This chapter will dive deep into the elements of body language and vocal mastery that will help you command the stage with confidence, ensuring that your presence and delivery match the strength of your message. The first element of body language to consider is posture. The way you stand when speaking to an audience sends an immediate signal about your confidence. Standing upright with your shoulders back and your chest open not only makes you appear taller and more powerful, but also helps you feel more confident. A slouched posture, on the other hand, conveys weakness or uncertainty. When you're standing tall, you're sending a message of authority and openness, making it easier for your audience to engage with you. It's equally important to be mindful of how you use your hands while speaking. Gestures are one of the most immediate ways to convey meaning and emotion. When you use your hands purposefully, it enhances the clarity of your message and allows you to connect with your audience on a deeper level. Avoid crossing your arms or holding onto the lectern too tightly, as this can create a barrier between you and your listeners, making you appear defensive or closed off. Instead, allow your arms to move naturally to emphasize key points in your speech. Open gestures, such as palms facing upward or outward, signal openness and trust, while closed gestures, like clenched fists or arms crossed, can create a sense of tension. Your facial expressions are another powerful form of nonverbal communication. A smile can go a long way in establishing rapport with your audience, while a furrowed brow or a tense face might make you seem less approachable or even angry. It's important to remain aware of how your facial expressions align with the emotions you're trying to convey. When discussing something passionate or enthusiastic, allow your face to reflect that energy. And when you speak of something serious, ensure your expressions align with the gravity of the topic. Equally important is the way you use eye contact. Strong eye contact is crucial in establishing trust and connection with your audience. It makes you appear confident and engaged, rather than detached or distracted. Try to make eye contact with different people throughout the room to create a sense of inclusivity. Don't just focus on one individual or stare at the floor or ceiling. Moving your gaze naturally across the room helps to keep everyone involved and demonstrates that you're addressing them all, not just speaking at them. But body language is not limited to just the physical appearance of your movements. How you position yourself in space also matters. Your stage presence is partly defined by how you occupy the space around you. If you're standing rigidly in one spot, you may appear uncomfortable or unsure of yourself. Instead, move with purpose. When you're speaking, use the stage to your advantage by stepping forward to engage your audience or stepping back to emphasize a point. Movement gives your speech energy and rhythm, which keeps your audience's attention. The key is to avoid overmoving, as it can distract from your message. Another key aspect of your body language is the way you manage your breathing. Breathing deeply from your diaphragm not only helps you stay calm and composed, but also improves the quality of your voice. Shallow breathing can make you sound tense and higher-pitched, while deep, controlled breathing adds resonance and power to your speech. It's also vital for controlling your pace and ensuring that you don't rush through your words. When you're able to pause effectively, you give your audience a chance to absorb the information you've just shared. Speaking of your voice, vocal mastery is perhaps the most powerful tool in your arsenal as a public speaker. The way you use your voice can bring your message to life and convey emotion far more effectively than words alone. There are several key elements to mastering your voice, including volume, pitch, tone, and pace. Your volume should be strong enough for everyone in the room to hear you, but not so loud that it feels like you're shouting. Speak at a volume that commands attention, but make sure it's not overwhelming. Adjusting your volume throughout your speech can also help emphasize important points. For example, if you're making a dramatic statement or sharing a powerful story, lowering your voice can draw people in, while raising your voice slightly can convey excitement or urgency. Pitch refers to the highness or lowness of your voice. A monotone voice can quickly lose the audience's interest, but varying your pitch, raising it when expressing excitement or lowering it to convey seriousness, keeps your delivery dynamic and engaging. It adds a layer of depth to your speech and helps you connect with your audience on an emotional level. Tone is closely tied to the emotional content of your speech. Your tone should reflect the mood and message of what you're saying. If you're speaking about a serious topic, your tone should match that seriousness. But if you're delivering a lighthearted message, a warm, friendly tone is more appropriate. People are highly sensitive to tone and will often interpret your emotional state based on how you sound. So be mindful of aligning your tone with your intent. Pacing is another important aspect of vocal mastery. Speaking too quickly can make you sound rushed and can make it difficult for your audience to follow your message. On the other hand, speaking too slowly can cause people to lose interest. Find a pace that feels natural to you and that allows your audience to fully digest what you're saying. Pauses are powerful tools as well. They allow your words to sink in and give both you and your audience a moment to reflect. Don't be afraid to pause briefly between key points or after making a bold statement. It helps maintain attention and gives your words added weight. Finally, practice is the only way to truly master body language and vocal techniques. The more you practice in front of a mirror or record yourself speaking, the more you'll begin to refine your delivery. Start by observing how your body language aligns with your voice. Are your gestures and expressions matching the emotions in your speech? Is your posture confident, or do you seem closed off? As you continue to speak and receive feedback, you'll learn to fine-tune your delivery and make adjustments as needed. By integrating strong body language and vocal mastery into your speaking, you'll find that you're not only more confident on stage, but that your audience will connect with you on a much deeper level. These nonverbal cues are the bridge between you and your audience, and mastering them is an essential part of becoming a truly impactful speaker. Confidence doesn't just come from what you say, it comes from how you present yourself. And with the right body language and voice, you'll be able to captivate and inspire anyone you speak to. Chapter 5. Mastering the stage, movement, presence, and connection. When you step onto a stage, whether it's a physical one or a virtual platform, you're not just presenting information, you're creating an experience. The way you carry yourself, the energy you bring, and the way you connect with your audience can elevate your speaking from good to great. This chapter is about mastering the art of presence, movement, and connection to ensure that you command attention and hold it until the very last word. The first step in mastering the stage is understanding the importance of presence. Presence isn't something you can fake. It's the energy and confidence you project when you enter a room or appear on a screen. A speaker who has presence immediately grabs the attention of their audience, even before they speak. It's the subtle aura of confidence, self-assurance, and charisma that makes people sit up and pay attention. To cultivate this presence, it's important to stand tall and project an image of authority without being overly rigid. Your body language needs to signal that you are confident in your message and your ability to deliver it. Your posture plays a significant role in how people perceive you. When you stand with good posture, shoulders back, chest open, and feet grounded, you instantly appear more authoritative and approachable. It communicates to the audience that you believe in what you are saying and that you are in control. A slouched or closed-off posture, on the other hand, can send a message of uncertainty or insecurity, which will make it harder for your audience to connect with you. Practice standing tall, with your weight evenly distributed on both feet. This simple adjustment will help you project confidence without even speaking a word. Alongside posture, movement is a key element of stage presence. Many speakers make the mistake of remaining static, standing behind a podium or in one spot for the duration of their talk. While this may be comfortable, it limits your ability to connect with your audience and convey your message effectively. Movement helps to break the monotony, adds dynamism to your presentation, and creates a more engaging experience for your listeners. It allows you to interact with different sections of the audience, maintain their attention, and keep the energy flowing. However, movement must be purposeful. Random pacing or shifting from foot to foot can be distracting and convey nervousness. Instead, move with intention. For example, when making a key point, take a few steps forward to create emphasis. Moving to one side of the stage can give you a chance to focus on one part of a room before shifting to another side, creating a sense of connection with different sections of your audience. It's all about using movement to add to the narrative and emotional impact of your speech. Another important aspect of mastering the stage is eye contact. Eye contact establishes a direct connection with your audience and makes them feel seen and heard. When you look at someone, it's as if you're speaking directly to them, and this can help create an intimate bond between you and the listener. It also shows confidence and sincerity. A common mistake many speakers make is either looking over the audience's heads or staring at their notes or slides the entire time. This disconnects you from the audience and makes it harder for them to engage with you. Instead, try to make eye contact with various people in the audience throughout your speech. If you're speaking to a large crowd, break the room into smaller sections and focus on different groups at different points. This will give each person the feeling that you're speaking directly to them. In the digital world, where many speeches are now given virtually, maintaining presence on a virtual stage requires a slightly different approach. Even though you may not have a physical room of people in front of you, the principle remains the same. Your energy, body language, and eye contact are still critical. When speaking on camera, ensure that you're looking directly into the camera lens, as this creates the illusion of eye contact with your viewers. Just as you would move around the physical stage, engage with different parts of the virtual space by shifting your body slightly, varying your tone, and using hand gestures to keep your delivery dynamic. Body language is also an essential part of connecting with your audience. The way you use your hands, facial expressions, and even your breathing can influence how your message is received. For instance, using open hand gestures can make you seem more approachable and trustworthy. Conversely, crossing your arms or clenching your fists can create an impression of defensiveness or anxiety. Practice using your hands to emphasize points. Gesturing with purpose can make your message more impactful and add another layer of meaning. However, be careful not to overdo it. Gestures should complement your speech, not distract from it. Facial expressions are another powerful tool in your speaking arsenal. A genuine smile can create warmth and engagement, while maintaining a neutral expression can make you seem detached or disinterested. Pay attention to your facial expressions as you speak and ensure that they reflect the emotions you're trying to convey. If you're sharing a serious or emotional story, your facial expressions should mirror the gravity of the moment. If you're delivering a humorous anecdote, allow your face to express that lightheartedness. This will help your audience connect with you on a deeper level. One final component of stage mastery is connecting with your audience emotionally. To truly engage your listeners, you need to make them feel something. People don't remember facts, as well as they remember emotions. By sharing your passion, enthusiasm, and genuine connection to your message, you can create a bond with your audience that goes beyond the words you speak. This emotional connection will make them care about what you're saying and take action based on your message. The most successful speakers don't just inform, they inspire and motivate. To achieve this emotional connection, you need to be fully present in the moment. This means letting go of any distractions, focusing on your audience, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to show your excitement or even share a personal story that reveals a part of who you are. Vulnerability, when done appropriately, makes you more relatable and humanizes you in the eyes of your listeners. When you show that you are emotionally invested in your speech, your audience will mirror that investment. Mastering the stage isn't just about moving around or projecting your voice. It's about creating an atmosphere where your audience feels engaged, connected, and emotionally invested in your message. It's about showing up with confidence and energy, and using your body language, eye contact, and movement to establish a powerful presence. When you own the stage, you don't just deliver a talk. You deliver an experience that resonates with your audience long after you finish speaking. Chapter 6. The Power of Practice and Preparation. Confidence in public speaking doesn't come from simply knowing your material or delivering a speech in front of an audience. True confidence arises from the meticulous work you put in before you ever step onto the stage. The act of preparation is what will elevate your performance, allowing you to engage with your audience in a powerful, meaningful way. To become a truly confident speaker, the first step is to accept that practice is non-negotiable. Whether you're delivering a 10-minute speech or presenting for an hour, the more you prepare, the more at ease you will feel. People often think that speaking is spontaneous or that it's enough to just know your stuff. But the reality is that top speakers invest hours of practice into honing their delivery, refining their content, and ensuring that every word they say has purpose. Preparation goes beyond just rehearsing your lines. It means understanding your audience and adjusting your message accordingly. Preparation means practicing your speech in front of a mirror or recording yourself so you can analyze your body language, tone, and facial expressions. It means working with the environment, whether it's the microphone, lighting, or the stage layout, so that everything works in your favor when you're delivering your message. One of the most powerful methods of preparation is creating a routine. A routine allows you to develop consistency in your approach, making the process of preparing for a speech or presentation feel more natural and less stressful. Before each presentation, set aside dedicated time for practicing your delivery, thinking through potential questions you might receive, and rehearsing responses. If possible, find a space that mimics the environment where you will speak, so you can get comfortable with the surroundings. The more you practice in realistic conditions, the more confident you'll feel in the actual moment. Visualization is also a key component of preparation. Take time to mentally rehearse your speech, visualizing yourself speaking confidently, engaging with your audience, and handling any unexpected situations that arise. Imagine yourself handling any technical difficulties, responding to questions smoothly, or even overcoming moments of doubt. The power of visualization is that it creates a mental blueprint for success, reinforcing your belief in your ability to succeed. Another aspect of preparation is practicing under pressure. It's one thing to speak in a calm, controlled environment, but it's another to speak when there's time pressure or unexpected obstacles. Simulating these conditions can build your resilience and ability to perform under pressure. For example, ask a friend or colleague to interrupt you with challenging questions while you practice your speech. Or practice delivering your speech in a noisy environment to replicate distractions. The more you expose yourself to these conditions, the more confident you'll feel when faced with them in real-life situations. Effective practice isn't about mindlessly repeating your speech over and over. It's about refining your delivery each time. Focus on improving one element at a time, such as pacing, tone, or emphasis. Evaluate your performance after each practice session, and take note of areas that need improvement. Self-reflection and constructive critique will help you identify patterns or weaknesses, so you can strengthen them before the big moment. Additionally, practice your speech in front of others whenever possible. Gather a small group of friends or family and present your material to them. This is a safe, low-pressure environment where you can test out different delivery techniques, get feedback, and gain confidence. People are often afraid to practice in front of others because they fear judgment, but this is one of the most effective ways to improve. It allows you to work through any nervousness and become accustomed to speaking in front of others. The feedback you receive will also help you fine-tune your speech, ensuring that it resonates with your audience. Preparing for a speech also means making sure your body is ready. This involves both physical and mental preparation. Prior to speaking, engage in relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing or meditation, to calm any nerves. Physical exercise, even a brief walk, can help reduce stress and increase mental clarity. Additionally, ensure that you are well rested and nourished before your presentation. A tired, hungry body will hinder your ability to perform at your best. In terms of technical preparation, ensure that all aspects of your presentation are aligned and ready. This includes checking any audio-visual equipment you'll be using, verifying that your slides or notes are in order, and ensuring the venue is set up properly. It's also helpful to have backup plans in place in case of technical difficulties. If you're presenting virtually, familiarize yourself with the software, test your microphone, and ensure your lighting and camera angles are flattering. A well-prepared environment can reduce the chances of unexpected issues disrupting your delivery and help you maintain control and confidence. In conclusion, preparation and practice are the building blocks of confidence. The more time and effort you invest in preparing for your speeches and presentations, the more natural and comfortable you'll feel when it's time to speak. It's not about perfection. It's about being well-prepared, flexible, and adaptable. By embracing a disciplined approach to practice, you'll transform your nerves into energy, your doubts into confidence, and your performances into powerful displays of influence and impact. Your audience will not only hear your message, they will feel it, trust it, and remember it. Chapter 7. Storytelling that sells. One of the most powerful tools in a speaker's arsenal is the ability to tell a compelling story. While data and facts are essential to support your message, it is storytelling that truly engages your audience, evokes emotions, and makes your message memorable. Storytelling is an ancient art. It connects us to the human experience and creates empathy. When done right, stories allow you to not only inform your audience, but also to inspire and influence them to take action. The key to a great story is not just the content, but the way you tell it. A story is a vehicle for your message, transforming dry facts into a vivid, relatable experience. In this chapter, we will explore how to harness the power of storytelling to captivate your audience and ensure your message sticks long after you've left the stage. First and foremost, the best stories are authentic. They come from your personal experiences or from real, meaningful stories you've encountered in your life. The best speakers share stories that are grounded in truth, something that the audience can resonate with. When your story is authentic, it creates an instant connection with the audience. They can tell that you're not simply reading from a script or following a formula. You're speaking from the heart. The next element of great storytelling is structure. Every story needs a beginning, middle, and end. Without structure, stories can meander and lose their impact. The introduction to your story should set the scene, offering enough context to hook your audience. The middle section is where the conflict arises, where you face challenges or obstacles that must be overcome. This is where the tension builds. Finally, the resolution should offer a satisfying conclusion that ties back to your main message. In a speech, this structure not only helps keep the audience engaged, but also provides clarity and focus. A well-structured story has a beginning that grabs attention, a middle that builds interest, and an ending that leaves the audience reflecting on the lesson or message. One of the most effective storytelling techniques is to create a sense of suspense. When telling a story, don't give away everything at once. Allow the narrative to unfold piece by piece. Build the tension and make your audience want to know what happens next. This is where the concept of open loops comes in. An open loop is an unresolved question or situation in your story that keeps the audience interested. You might start with an anecdote or situation, drop a hint about the outcome, and then circle back to it later in the speech. By doing this, you create a sense of anticipation that will keep your audience glued to every word. The emotions you evoke in your audience are what ultimately make your story resonate. Storytelling is powerful because it taps into our emotions, and emotions are the driving force behind decision-making and action. Whether you're telling a story of overcoming adversity, achieving success, or learning a valuable lesson, aim to draw out emotions like excitement, fear, joy, or even sadness. By doing so, you make your message stick. People remember how a story made them feel long after they forget the details. Relatability is another cornerstone of effective storytelling. Your audience must be able to see themselves in your story. Whether it's the struggle you faced, the values you stand for, or the lessons you learned, the more your audience can relate to your experience, the more powerful your story becomes. If you can tap into a universal truth or experience, your audience will feel like the story is speaking directly to them. While crafting your story, be mindful of pacing. A good story is one that flows smoothly and keeps the audience engaged. If you spend too much time on the setup and not enough on the resolution, or if you rush through the middle and skip over the important details, your story will lose its impact. Take your time, but also know when to speed up to maintain the rhythm. The pacing of a story should mirror the emotional journey you want your audience to take, building intensity during the high points and slowing down during moments of reflection. Another aspect of storytelling that cannot be overlooked is the use of imagery. Great stories are vivid, painting a picture in the audience's mind. Descriptive language, sensory details, and metaphors bring your story to life and allow your audience to see, hear, and feel what you're experiencing. When you describe a scene, for example, instead of just saying, "It was a cold night," you could say, "The biting cold air wrapped around me like a thick blanket, and my breath turned to mist with every step I took." This creates a sensory experience that pulls your audience deeper into the story. Additionally, humor can be a powerful tool in storytelling when used appropriately. A well-timed joke or lighthearted moment can make your story more relatable and engaging. Humor helps break the tension and humanizes you as a speaker, making it easier for your audience to connect with you. However, always ensure that your humor aligns with your message and doesn't detract from the seriousness or relevance of your point. One important thing to remember is that your story should always have a purpose. It's not enough to simply entertain your audience. Every story you tell should serve a specific purpose, whether it's to make a point, inspire action, or highlight a key lesson. A story without a purpose risks losing its impact, and your audience may feel disengaged or confused. Make sure that the story ties back to the central theme of your speech or presentation, reinforcing the message you want to communicate. Finally, practicing your storytelling is essential. Great stories don't happen by accident. They're crafted and honed. You should rehearse not just the words, but the delivery of the story. Pay attention to your tone, pauses, and gestures. The way you tell the story is just as important as the story itself. You may want to record yourself practicing to see how your delivery matches the energy of the story. This practice will help you perfect your timing, pacing, and overall impact. In conclusion, storytelling is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal as a speaker. It can turn a dry, data-heavy presentation into an engaging, memorable experience. By tapping into the power of authentic, structured, emotionally resonant stories, you can captivate your audience and ensure your message sticks. When you master the art of storytelling, you don't just speak to people, you move them. And that's the essence of powerful public speaking. Chapter 8. Engaging any audience. When it comes to public speaking, understanding your audience is crucial. A great speaker knows that connecting with the audience isn't just about delivering a message, but about tailoring that message to the unique needs, emotions, and expectations of the people in front of them. Whether you're speaking to a group of 5 executives, a packed conference hall, or an online audience, the ability to engage and hold their attention is a skill every great speaker must master. First, it's important to realize that every audience is different. The energy in a room full of students will feel very different from that in a boardroom meeting or a casual social gathering. The key to engaging any audience lies in your ability to read the room, adjust your delivery style, and adapt your content in a way that resonates with them. Every group will respond to certain types of communication differently, and the more attuned you are to these subtleties, the better you will be at creating an impact. One of the most powerful ways to engage an audience is by establishing an immediate connection. This connection begins before you even open your mouth. Your presence, your body language, and your first words set the tone for the rest of your speech. The first few moments of your presentation are critical, as they shape the audience's initial impression of you. A warm smile, a confident posture, and an engaging opening line can make a huge difference. Whether it's through humor, a question, a powerful quote, or a relatable story, opening your presentation with something that grabs their attention instantly creates a bond between you and the audience. From there, it's essential to maintain their engagement by showing genuine interest in their reactions. A great speaker doesn't just talk at their audience, they interact with them. Look for signs of engagement. Are they nodding in agreement? Do they seem interested or distracted? Adjust your delivery based on these cues. If they seem disengaged, you might need to inject energy into your voice or shift the tone of your message. If they seem overwhelmed, maybe you need to slow down or simplify your points. Another key to engaging any audience is the ability to make your content relatable. This is where storytelling comes into play. People connect with stories, not abstract concepts or data points. When you tell a story, you bring your message to life. The more personal and relatable the story, the better. Whether it's a personal anecdote, a case study, or a tale of overcoming obstacles, stories serve as a powerful tool to keep your audience engaged. In addition to stories, using analogies and examples that your audience can relate to is an excellent way to ensure your message lands. Think about the experiences your audience is likely to have and frame your content in terms they will understand and care about. A business executive might appreciate a well-crafted analogy about scaling a company, while a group of students might respond better to examples drawn from everyday life or their own aspirations. As you continue speaking, remember to incorporate variety in your delivery. Monotony can quickly lead to boredom, no matter how engaging your content may be. Vary your tone, pace, and volume to match the emotion and energy of your message. A quiet, contemplative moment can add weight to an important point, while a sudden burst of energy can create excitement and enthusiasm around an idea. Your voice is one of the most dynamic tools in your arsenal, and learning to use it effectively is essential for keeping your audience's attention. Equally important is the use of body language. Just like your voice, your body language conveys a wealth of information. Nonverbal cues such as gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact all help to reinforce the message you're delivering. When you use your body to emphasize key points, it creates a more dynamic and memorable presentation. Eye contact, in particular, plays a crucial role in building trust and keeping your audience engaged. It creates a sense of intimacy and personal connection, making the audience feel that you are speaking directly to them, rather than at them. Another important aspect of engagement is involving the audience in your presentation. Asking questions, whether rhetorical or direct, can keep the audience thinking about your content and deepen their connection to it. You might ask for a show of hands, encourage a group discussion, or invite people to share their thoughts. This interaction helps to break up the flow of the presentation and makes the audience feel like active participants rather than passive listeners. In the digital age, engaging a virtual audience adds another layer of complexity. When speaking in person, you can rely on facial expressions, body language, and direct interaction to gauge your audience's level of engagement. Online, however, these cues can be harder to read, and the temptation for your audience to tune out is greater. To maintain engagement in virtual settings, it's important to keep your presentations visually stimulating. Use high-quality visuals, videos, or slides that complement your message, but avoid overwhelming your audience with too much information at once. Break up long blocks of speech with questions, polls, or interactive elements like chat boxes, which help keep the audience focused. Ultimately, the key to engaging any audience is adaptability. No two audiences are exactly the same, so being able to pivot and adjust your delivery style as you go is a vital skill. A confident speaker is always aware of the audience's reactions, always adjusting, and always ready to change tactics if needed. Engagement isn't about a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about reading the room, understanding the needs and expectations of your audience, and responding to them in a way that keeps them involved, interested, and excited to hear what you have to say. The more you practice these skills, the more naturally you'll be able to adapt to any audience, whether you're delivering a keynote, presenting in a meeting, or speaking to a group of strangers. By mastering the art of engagement, you become not just a speaker, but a connector, someone who can inspire, motivate, and leave a lasting impression on any audience you encounter. Chapter 9. Handling Q&A and Thinking on Your Feet. When you step into the spotlight as a speaker, you are the one in control of the message. But what happens when things don't go as planned? When someone asks a tough question, or when you encounter an unexpected situation, the true test of a confident speaker is not just in delivering the speech, but in thinking on your feet. The ability to handle Q&A sessions, field questions with grace, and maintain control of the conversation is what separates great speakers from the rest. Handling Q&A sessions is one of the most intimidating aspects of public speaking, and it's easy to feel unprepared for the unpredictable nature of these moments. However, with the right mindset and strategies, you can turn these moments into opportunities to shine and connect even further with your audience. The key to confidently handling Q&A is to stay calm, remain composed, and respond in a way that reinforces your expertise and credibility. First, it's important to approach Q&A sessions with the understanding that no question is personal. Audience members may ask challenging questions or present differing opinions, but this is not a reflection of your worth or ability. Rather than reacting defensively, see these questions as chances to expand on your ideas, clarify any points that might have been misunderstood, and further engage with your audience. Preparation is vital when it comes to handling Q&A. While you can't predict every question that will come your way, you can anticipate the kinds of questions that might arise based on your topic. Take time to think through potential questions in advance and formulate thoughtful answers. This mental preparation allows you to respond more confidently and avoid getting caught off guard. It's also helpful to embrace the pause. When a question is asked, don't rush to answer immediately. Take a moment to gather your thoughts. This pause not only helps you think clearly, but also gives the impression that you are carefully considering the question rather than rushing to provide an answer. It's a simple tactic, but it shows your audience that you value thoughtful responses and are not afraid of taking a moment to compose yourself. Another important aspect of handling Q&A is staying calm, especially when faced with hostile or challenging questions. If someone asks a difficult question or one that feels confrontational, resist the urge to become defensive or flustered. Instead, take a deep breath and respond with patience and respect. Acknowledge the validity of their question, even if you disagree, and offer your perspective in a calm, logical manner. Responding this way demonstrates confidence and emotional control, both of which are crucial for maintaining your credibility. When handling difficult questions, it's also helpful to stay focused on the core message you're trying to convey. If a question seems off topic or doesn't relate to your message, politely steer the conversation back to the main point. It's perfectly acceptable to say, "That's an interesting question, but I think it's a bit outside the scope of today's topic. Let's connect afterward if you'd like to discuss it further." This allows you to maintain the flow of the discussion while being respectful to the person asking the question. One of the most powerful techniques for handling Q&A is to embrace the bridge method. If a question is difficult or challenging, you can use this technique to transition smoothly back to the message you want to communicate. For example, if someone asks a question that's hard to answer directly, you can respond by saying, "That's a great question. While I don't have an exact answer for you right now, I do believe it relates to the broader point about insert your main message here." This method allows you to acknowledge the question while guiding the conversation back to your core message, maintaining control of the narrative. Another strategy is to acknowledge when you don't know the answer to a question. It's easy to feel pressured to have an answer for everything, but no one expects you to be an expert on every subject. If you're unsure of the answer, be honest about it. You could say something like, "That's a great question, and while I don't have the exact answer at this moment, I'll make sure to look into it and follow up with you after the session." This shows humility, authenticity, and confidence in your ability to address the question at a later time. Being able to handle tough questions with grace and poise speaks volumes about your confidence as a speaker. It shows that you are knowledgeable, adaptable, and able to think on your feet, skills that are crucial for any public speaker. When you face these moments with a calm and collected demeanor, you not only reinforce your credibility, but also deepen your connection with the audience. In some cases, you may even encounter situations where questions start to get overly repetitive or off track. In these instances, it's important to stay respectful but firm in your responses. You might say something like, "I've addressed this question already, but I'm happy to explain it further if needed. Let's also make sure we cover the other topics we planned for today." This ensures that the conversation remains productive and that you maintain control over the direction of the discussion. Lastly, after the Q&A session is over, take time to reflect. What questions were asked that you could have handled differently? Were there moments when you felt unsure? By reviewing the session and analyzing what worked well and what didn't, you can continue to improve your performance for the next time. Handling Q&A sessions is a skill that grows with experience. The more you practice, the more confident and capable you'll become in handling even the most challenging questions. Public speaking is not just about delivering a perfect speech. It's about handling whatever comes your way with grace, confidence, and a clear head. The ability to think on your feet and respond to questions thoughtfully and strategically is a vital skill that will elevate your public speaking to the next level. With practice, you'll find that the Q&A session becomes one of the most rewarding parts of your speaking engagements, and you'll walk away feeling even more confident and empowered in your role as a speaker. Chapter 10. speaking to influence and inspire. The highest level of public speaking is not simply about conveying information. It's about creating change. As a speaker, your ultimate goal should be to inspire your audience to think differently, take action, or see the world in a new light. This is where the real power of speaking lies. When you can influence and inspire through your words, you're no longer just a speaker. You become a leader, a catalyst for transformation. To be a truly influential and inspiring speaker, you need to connect deeply with your audience. This requires not only mastering the technical aspects of speaking, but also understanding what moves people emotionally, what resonates with them on a personal level, and how to spark a desire for change. Inspiration is a feeling, and as a speaker, your job is to create that feeling in your audience. The foundation of influence and inspiration lies in your ability to communicate your message in a way that is not only compelling, but also meaningful. This involves delivering content that speaks to the needs, hopes, and desires of your listeners. Rather than just focusing on what you want to say, it's important to frame your message in a way that speaks to the desires and aspirations of your audience. What do they care about? What challenges are they facing? How can your message help them overcome those challenges and move forward? When you answer these questions, you create a strong connection that turns a simple talk into a powerful, transformative experience. One of the most effective ways to inspire is through storytelling. Stories have a unique ability to tap into emotions, helping your audience to connect with your message on a deeper level. When you share a personal story or a story of someone else overcoming adversity, achieving success, or making a change, you're offering your listeners a blueprint for what's possible. This helps them see themselves in the story, envisioning the possibility of their own transformation. People remember stories far more than they remember facts or figures. So weaving storytelling into your speeches can be an incredibly powerful tool for inspiration. Another key aspect of inspiring your audience is authenticity. People can tell when you're being genuine, and they're far more likely to be moved by your message if they feel it's coming from a place of honesty and sincerity. Speak from the heart. Share your personal experiences, your struggles, and your triumphs. Don't be afraid to show vulnerability because it makes you human, relatable, and trustworthy. When your audience feels like they know you, they're more likely to listen to what you have to say and act on it. Authenticity breeds trust, and trust is the foundation of influence. The tone and delivery of your speech also play a huge role in how you inspire your audience. The way you speak, the pace, the pauses, the emphasis, and the volume can enhance the emotional impact of your message. Use your voice to convey passion, enthusiasm, and conviction. Speak with energy and commitment, and your audience will feel that energy and be inspired by it. Remember, it's not just the words you say, but how you say them that will leave a lasting impression. To inspire and influence, you must also believe in the power of your message. Your confidence in what you're delivering is contagious. If you don't believe in what you're saying, how can you expect your audience to believe it? When you speak with genuine passion and certainty, your audience will be more likely to embrace your ideas and take action. Finally, to inspire action, you need to leave your audience with a clear takeaway. It's not enough to simply inspire them. You must empower them to do something with that inspiration. What do you want them to do after hearing your speech? Whether it's making a change in their lives, taking a step toward their goals, or embracing a new perspective, it's important to offer a clear and actionable step that they can take. This provides not only inspiration, but also direction, a roadmap for turning their inspiration into action. Speaking to influence and inspire is a journey. It takes practice, vulnerability, and courage. It's not about perfection. It's about creating a genuine connection with your audience and leaving them better than you found them. Every speech is an opportunity to impact someone's life, to plant a seed of change, and to help them see their own potential. You have the power to change lives with your words. Embrace it and use it wisely. Remember, every time you speak, you are shaping the future, one person at a time. When you speak to inspire, you are leaving a legacy of transformation. And that is the ultimate power of a confident speaker. Conclusion. Confidence in public speaking isn't something that magically appears the first time you step in front of an audience. It's built through practice, preparation, and a mindset shift that allows you to take control of your nerves and fully embrace your message. As you apply the principles and techniques outlined in this book, remember that becoming a confident speaker is a journey. The more you speak, the more natural it will feel. The key is consistency and learning from every experience, no matter how big or small. Every time you speak, you're developing not just your ability to communicate, but also your influence and leadership. Public speaking is one of the most powerful skills you can develop because it gives you the ability to connect, persuade, and inspire others. The more confident you become in your delivery, the more people will listen, engage, and be moved by what you have to say. Whether you're presenting to a large crowd or speaking in a small meeting, the skills you've learned will help you hold the attention of your audience, establish credibility, and leave a lasting impact. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about embracing the value you bring to the table and knowing that your voice deserves to be heard. It's about showing up fully, engaging with your audience, and delivering your message with conviction, clarity, and authenticity. Remember, confidence doesn't mean you'll never feel nervous again. The best speakers still get butterflies, but they've learned how to channel that energy into a powerful performance. It's about making the choice to speak boldly, with the understanding that every time you do, you're getting one step closer to owning any stage, whether it's in front of thousands of people or in a one-on-one conversation. Now, take everything you've learned and start putting it into action. Whether it's preparing for your next big presentation or simply becoming more comfortable with casual conversations, every opportunity to speak is an opportunity to grow. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become, and the more your message will resonate with those who hear it. Your voice is powerful, and the world needs to hear it. Keep stepping out of your comfort zone, keep refining your skills, and keep speaking with the confidence you deserve. You've got this. The stage is yours to own.